We are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Get Growing Weekly Work Session with GetOiling. I'm Coach Ashley, joined today by our amazing team. We have founders Greg and Amanda Kilwine. We also have our amazing team, Julie, Colin, Kim, here today with us. Hello, everybody. So excited to have everyone here today. We're going to kind of take a little bit of a turn from some of the flow we've been going through of late. I want to get into some mindset today. I do some coaching with a fair amount of people who are not just at leadership positions in this company, but really throughout this company. And I keep hearing this thing over and over. Oh, my growth is slowing down. My check is shrinking. People are saying they're not going to build. And there's all of this sort of, should I wait? Should I sit back? Should I do something else? Should I go somewhere else or promote something else? And there's all this kind of buzzing around. And I wanted to kind of take a moment to address that here today. We are also here today for you if you need help. If you're using your GetOiling system and you need hands-on, show me how to make this work. We're here to hold hands and get that done together today. So go ahead, and if you came here with those types of questions or concerns, put those in the Q&A. Our amazing team is here, and two people today, because I don't think that anyone took me up on this in the Facebook group. If you are here right now and you would like one-on-one help or a review of the work that you've been doing, the first two people who say, "Me, please," will get a review today. So go ahead and put those in the comments. "Me, please," if you want it. And we'll get to that here shortly. So I wanted to talk with you guys about first this idea that there is anything that could possibly control your business and its growth aside from you, right? I want to remind you of, or invite you to be reminded of the reason why you decided to start growing this business in the first place. It was the products, right? It was the oils. Now, there are all of these different things that are, changing and shifting and growing and moving with Young Living right now, or we're on the verge of this. We're changing starter kit to bundles and subscribe and save from ER and all of these different things. But the one thing that isn't changing, like the most important thing that's not changing, is the thing that is the reason why you're here today. Here to grow a business, to share these products that you believe in, that you love, that have changed your life with people whose lives you can help change. Can I see a raise of hands? Is this true? Are you resonating with this? You're loving Young Living because of the products. You're sharing Young Living because of the products. They could decide to call their bundles alien juice tomorrow and it still works. And you still don't want to talk about it because of the benefit that you got from it, right? They're not going to call it alien juice. I'm just saying it doesn't matter what the changes are. The reason why you're sharing is still the same. You want freedom, you want income, you want purpose, you want abundance, and you want more people to get these oils into their homes. None of this has changed or will change because this company's not going anywhere. I think this is a really important thing to remember, where there's a lot of buzz about, there's new companies and there's this and that, and people are leaving and they're going here and there. You want to know something? This company is 26 years old now? A little older than that? I don't know. So you guys correct me in the comments. This is an established company in this industry with a proven product that was really a unique product when they brought it to market. So they are the originator of this product in the market, and even beyond network marketing, Young Living is the industry leader in essential oils. Don't you think for a moment that some shiny thing that's popping up, that maybe even a leader is going to change the course of this very well-established legacy company in this industry, right? What you're building here has the potential to pay your great-grandchildren's great-grandchildren. Don't forget that, okay? So let's remember that here first. Now, let's get into how GetOiling can help you get consistent growth. First, I want to pop over here to the chat. We do have a Patsy has requested a review. Patsy, if you could pop your website link into the Q&A, or the chat, either one, since you're here, just so you can let me know what you're looking for with help today when we get over to talk about that. Amelia says, I'm not going anywhere, you wise woman. Don't, because you are here for the product. The product's not changing, right? And really importantly, um, the reason why your business grows is because you do the work, right? So once you get further down the line, and I'm talking past diamond, then your business starts doing more of the work for you in a more significant way. That's not to say that you don't get great residual benefit in your check, even at silver and gold, you guys. You can get great checks at those ranks, but don't think that you can just sit back and not work anymore, right? Because this is a business. And there are things that we have to continually do, not just so that we can grow our own check, but so that we can be the leader that our team needs to follow, that they need to observe and duplicate, right? So how we work is important so that the people who see the products and fall in love with the products like you did, the ones that you introduce the products to, can say, oh, wow, that's actually pretty simple. I could have that conversation that she just had with me with 10 other people, and that's all I have to do. That's how I do this. That's how duplication works, right? Now, at the core of your GetOiling system, and this is from seed all the way up to our diamond plan, there is a contact manager. How many of you guys before GetOiling were using a contact manager, a CRM, which, if you're in professional sales, you know what that is. But how many of you are using a CRM before you got started with GetOiling? Right? I don't think that many of us were, right? I remember years ago when I built my first businesses, there wasn't a CRM for network marketing. I wanted this. That was part of why I was so excited when I found these guys. I was like, you're doing all the things. Yes, this is what it needs. So this is a people business, right? A people business means you have got to become a people person. Yes, all of us, not just the blues and reds. We need to be softer people, and yellows. We need to be a little more outgoing in our peopleness. And greens, get out from behind the screen. We've got to be people, right? Now, if you don't know the color trainings, there are several really great videos on our channel. If you're hearing me talk about these colors, you're like, what is she talking about? Look up colors. We talk about selling by colors, recruiting by colors in some of our past videos. That's youtube.com/GetOiling. But anyway, what we have to do to get more growth in our business is just to talk to more people. What do we talk to them about? Product. Now, it's not as simple as we just walk up to a warm body on the street and say, I have products, do you want to buy them, right? We do need to establish relationships. Now, the way that we keep track of our relationships is through this contact manager, right? When you log into your GetOiling dashboard, you can see what is happening in your contact manager and in your whole system. And you can put in the names and the contact information of the people with whom you have spoken at vendor events, or that you've met at a yard sale, or who go to your house of worship, or who went to kindergarten with you, or who's on your Facebook list, right? You need to be keeping track of these conversations that you're having with all of these people, because there are 3 categories that every single person in your network will fall into. Customer, meaning they buy your product and they love the product that you have. Client, which in the case here would be like your partners, right? These are your brand partners that work with you. Or connector, somebody who will connect you to one of these 2. Everyone, eventually, right? And that means that you need to be present for these relationships and for these opportunities to appear over time, right? We have to look at what we're working with in terms of our network and our people, because again, it's a people business. We have to look at it abundantly. And what that means is we have to always be open to meet new people, to make new friends. And this is kind of what makes this business so fulfilling. And for what it's worth, I am a blue personality, so I am very interested in people, and it energizes me to get to know people, even in my introversion, right? That's why doing this on Facebook is so much nicer than having to go sit in networking meetings. That's the introvert side, for those of you who can relate. So Either way, regardless of what your sort of personal preferences are for how you communicate, how you meet people, how you make friends, you have to find ways to just be there for people, get to know more people, and expand the group of people that you have access to, not just for the purpose of selling, right? Because you didn't get into this business, most likely, to just sell oils. Oh, I like this. I could make money on this. No, that's not really how Young Living works, is it? It's, oh, I love this. Oh, this has changed my life. I've got to go help people with this, right? Can I see a show of hands? Is that true? Is that true for you? Oh my God, this changed my life. I need to go make a difference in other people's lives. Like this is made in mine. That's why we're doing this, right? And so with that, we go out and we have our connections, we have our friendships. And the reason why this suddenly gets so complicated and scary to those of us who are maybe new at this or who, can't quite figure out how to get beyond, the first couple of conversations with someone is that we aren't actually keeping track. We are in a people business, and that means we need to manage our business by managing the people that we're in touch with. And we do that with our contact manager. So I want to show you guys something real quick, and I want to kind of walk through how this would play out. Right now, let me preface this with you need to be having conversations with people, and there's some great trainings about this on our channel. I think Jackie McLaughlin did one a while back, and there's just a lot of really great training out there, just generally speaking about networking. Write this down: 2 books that you absolutely need to read. How to win, what is it? How to win friends and influence people. How to make friends and influence. What's Dale Carnegie? How to make friends and influence people. That book is old and it's got some funny antiquated language in it. But what he talks about is really important. Being interested in other people makes you interesting to them. It's an excellent book to start with. And then Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty by Harvey McKay, which is all about networking, making relationships, and maintaining those relationships as a professional. And his wasn't even written for network marketing. These aren't network marketing or, or even specifically business building books. But please read those 2 books. They're absolute classics, and they will help you with getting this critical piece of your business figured out. And it is really, I mean, it's the most critical piece of your business. Young Living is network marketing. What is a network made up of? People, right? So we've got to get this piece figured out. And tech is not going to do the heavy lifting for you in terms of the relationships and communication. What it can do is keep you on top of things so you know what to do and how often to do it so that you reach the goals that you have. Now I'm going to share. All right. So right now we're looking at the dashboard. This is what it looks like on a Thursday when we have our weekly work session. I'm in Jane's account right now. Now, one thing that I want to remind you that you can do and you should do with your system is to, if you're on Facebook or any of your social media networks, look for instructions on how to download the CSV file, how to download the list of your contacts from that particular service that you're using. Right. And what that'll allow you to do is to just in a couple of clicks, go over here. And actually, if you click the setup progress, you can import or add your contacts. And there's a video that teaches you how to do it. Greg walked through this very slowly and easily for you. Promise it's easy to do. You upload those people. And now once you go have a conversation with them, we can go in and we can find the people that we want to leave a note for. So how about this person? That's me. You can go in and as I'm having conversations with this person, we can leave notes as we're getting to know the person that we have this relationship with, learning more about how we can help them by asking questions and being interested. What's going on in their life? You notice them complaining about something or struggling with something, and you think about how you might be able to support them, right? You leave those notes here. I think a lot of times we put our foot in our mouth because we think, oh, I have an oil for that. And then we just go, and they're like, wait, what? No, bye, I gotta go. So write it in here, right? Write it in your background. Take notes on this, you guys, so that you can then rate the contact and get reminded to follow up a couple days later so that you aren't someone who feels like or comes across as being someone who is just opportunistic and just jumping on this opportunity to sell something to your person. So as you're having these conversations and you hear, oh, I think that thieves might be a really great fit for them, go in here into background information and write down what it was in the conversation that made you think that thieves would be great for them. Hit save so you've got the notes there. You could give yourself a to-do to follow up with them, right? Give yourself a date and time for that. That's absolutely something you can do. But you could also just go ahead and rate the contact. And if you hover over, you can see that if you just rate them a 5, 3 days from now, you're going to get notified to check in on them. Now, if there's someone who maybe they said yes to maybe learning more about thieves, or you gave them a sample or something like that, and you just, they're not really responding well when you're following up with them and you don't want to feel like you're chasing them, why don't you rate them a 3 so that you get reminded just to check in on them, say hello, see how they're doing on a monthly basis, right? All you have to do is just click that. And now you're going to get told by your system, today you may want to reach out to this person. And then you go check out your notes, and your notes say, oh, we talked about thieves, right? Or, oh, I was going to mention thieves. And then you send them a message and say, hey, you know what? I was thinking about that conversation we had the other day. And there's this thing that I use that you might really like. It might work for you. Are you interested in learning more about it? And then they're like, yeah, totally. Right? It's beautiful how you can keep up with this in a system like this. I think most of the time when we are getting ahead of ourselves in conversations, oversharing or sharing too soon, or when we think we see an opportunity and then we're like, oh, but I don't want to do that right now. And we completely forget and we drop the ball. If you're using your contact manager, you guys, these things won't happen, right? These things will not happen. Now, there are some really great trainings. There's a course in particular that we've contributed to called Modern Social Mama that Jessica Doman did that focuses on using the contact manager with her Facebook strategy. So there are lots of ways to weave this in to other strategies. But guys, just at the core, have your conversations with people and make sure you're following up and having that second conversation with them. I was chatting with a client the other day who did she did a vendor event recently for Mother's Day, and maybe met some really nice people there. But what we discovered was that there really wasn't a real follow-up, right? She was thinking, oh, well, you know, I talked to them and it's a nice conversation. I just want to give them my website, and then hopefully they'll buy something, right? That's not how network marketing works. We have to have those conversations, those consultative conversations, build those relationships with people so that they say yes, right? All right, Suzanne, I'm glad. Thank you, Donna, for catching that. I do speak a little quickly. Just a quick tip for you guys. If you ever watch these replays on YouTube, you can control the speed of playback. You can slow it down or speed it up. And Reds, we speed things up. I also just speak really quickly. I'm from Alabama, I promise. I just lived in New York for too long. So anyway, that's really the gist, you guys, is make sure that you're having as many conversations as possible and keep track of every conversation you are having in your contact manager, every single one of them. Rate every contact you chat with. Now, I want to kind of mentally draw a diagram here for you if you follow along with me. A funnel. We talk about funnels on this channel a lot. There are different types of funnels. We talk about actual funnels you can build in our system where there's a landing page that has an offer and then there's a campaign, right? There are a lot of different ways to look at this, but your business is funnel shaped, right? Your people business is funnel shaped. At the very top of the funnel, the wide part where you pour all that liquid in, all the people that you could potentially ever share Young Living with, right? The widest part. We go down a little bit narrower of a level. And now we've got the people that we actually have a relationship with. Maybe they see the stuff that you're posting on social media. Maybe they go to church with you, or maybe they live in your neighborhood and you guys talk when you walk dogs in the morning or whatever, right? You've got some kind of relationship with them. What we're looking to do is to move people further down the funnel. So people who have a relationship with you are going to be the ones that you have conversations with where you learn more about them. It's really that simple. Learn more about them, ask them how they're doing. Martha calls this Ford, right? And that's not even something that Martha came up with. This is an old school thing, right? That's family, occupation, recreation, dreams. So you ask them about the things that matter to them. Those are all things that matter. And they're all easy topics of conversation beyond the weather and politics, right? All positive stuff. Or potentially for them, things that might reveal pain points that they have. And we're doing this because we care, right? Because we found a product that's changed our lives and we want to change lives, right? We're not here transactionally. If we were here transactionally, we might as well just go sit stuff on shelves, pay somebody else to pull people in the door and hope that people buy stuff off the shelves. That's not this business, right? So we need to have relationships and we deepen and strengthen those relationships through conversation. Every conversation you have goes into your GetOiling contact manager. What was the day? What did you talk about? What are you going to do next? Make sure that you have a to-do or that you've rated them so that you follow up, right? So remember our funnel structure. Very top, cold market, we'll say. Acquaintances, you don't really know them. Warm market, they know you, talk to them. And always be looking to bring more people into that warmer space. And then one step down, warmer still, is where we're having our conversations, learning what it is that's important to them and what they are looking for help with so that you can offer to show them something that's worked for you. And that's a step further down, right? So we've got everybody, we've got friends, we've got conversations. Now we've got an offer to share, right? And that's, you see, everybody's up here. We're trying to move them down and it takes manual conversations. This is, if anybody tells you that you can duplicate this business by just posting stuff and not talking to people, they're not telling you the truth. Okay. We have to have these conversations. We keep track of our conversations and we move them to that point where we say, hey, you mentioned to me that you were dealing with XYZ thing. I have actually figured out a way to fix whatever problem, or I know of someone who uses this thing. Is it something you'd be interested in learning more about? Right? Whatever that conversation is. And this should feel really natural to you because you have been talking, you have been listening, most importantly, 2 ears, 1 mouth. You've been listening and then you offer, hey, so you mentioned this thing. If I could show you a way to get help with that or to fix that or whatever, would you be open to learning more? When they say yes, they move down to this very narrow part down here at the bottom of the funnel where you're actually sharing and living. That makes sense? We got the world up here and we're trying to just down to right here where they say, yeah, show me. And then you're like, let me show you. This is Young Living. This is amazing. This stuff changed my life. Here's what it can do for you, right? We think about sharing as being this thing that's like up here at the top. Sharing is actually down here. And it's after these conversations and you use your contact manager to manage those conversations and move those toward them saying yes to learning more. Hey, I've got a class coming up that I'm teaching where I talk about XYZ thing. And now right? If you've got people who are rated in your contact manager, maybe you give them a tag in your contact manager, and we'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Give them a tag so that maybe they are someone who's interested in pet-related stuff, and you've had conversations about their dog who's got a health issue, or maybe they've got a kid who who's an athlete or something, or whatever the case may be, right? Maybe they have a Bible study. Make notes. And then when something comes up, you can say, you know what, I'm going to teach a class on this new thing, or, maybe Grow Workspace has got a new bundle or something like that. And you're like, oh, I want to, who's gardens? And maybe you've taken notes and you've tagged and you've created yourself an organization system where you can go in and search garden and here are all these people that you've had conversations with who are also gardeners, because maybe that's something that you really love. And so now you've got a reason to reach out to every single one of those people who maybe it's been months since you've talked to them. And you can be like, hey, we talked about gardening a while back. I've got a class coming up. You might really love this one recipe that I talk about in it. You want some information on that, right? Is this making sense, you guys? Give me a show of hands. Let me know in the chat. Is this making sense? We want to just keep our conversations, our social life, if you will, organized using the contact manager. And really all that means is just making sure that everyone you're talking with is in here. And then you leave notes in there for yourself and you give yourself to-dos, you give yourself follow-ups, or you rank them in the system. Now, if you are using Go for Gold or Modern Social Mama, and I know that there are some other courses that teach this kind of thing too, there are follow-up plans that you can actually apply to your contacts in the contact manager as well. So like the one that I created for Jess in Modern Social Mama has like literally what you follow up with and say that fits in her strategy, for instance, or what Martha does on the 5th day in Go for Gold. So so that's that's the kind of thing that you can do as well. But guys, if you don't know what those things are yet, or you're just wanting to figure out how to use our system, all you literally have to do is leave notes for yourself and rate your contact. I want to follow up with them in 3 days. Or if it's tomorrow, make yourself a to-do and follow up with them. Pretty simple, right? So the steps in the funnel, Keith, are you've got, so step 1 for you is make friends. Make lots and lots and lots and lots of friends and like always be making new friends and new connections, right? And then from there, you're having conversations with as many people as possible. The rule that I had for myself, and I know I was a little bit of an extraordinary case. I was a newly single parent, newly out of a job. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm going to make a job out of this. So I worked a lot. But what I did was to make sure, and this was on Facebook, that I could speak to and have enough conversations with enough people every day so that 5 people would say, yeah, I want to learn more. And that's a lot. If you're, you got to be really quick to type or getting people onto the phone. I would say if you have another job or you do this part-time, speak with enough people, nurture enough relationships to have one person a day say, yeah, I'd like to learn more about whatever that is, right? Because you're working through to find out whatever it is that they're dealing with, right? That you can help them with. And you go through those. Again, this is covered in Go for Gold as well as Modern Social Mama, that whole like forward conversation process in depth. And there are different ways that it's taught, but honestly, it's kind of intuitive. Nobody ever taught me this stuff. You just go be friends with people, have conversations, truly care, truly show up, truly be a friend. And where you hear an opportunity arise where you could be of service, where you could help, where you know that there is an answer that you have that might help them solve their problem, you give them the opportunity to say yes or no about learning more about it. And that's it. You offer to present. And that is a coaching activity in your system as well. If you're using the digital upline coach, that is inviting someone to a presentation, right? So if you're doing this on social, call it text or email, whatever. But that counts. That's inviting someone to a presentation is an income producing activity, because now somebody contextually understands that there's a thing that this person has that could help me. They're prepared to take in information that could result in a sale. That's an IPA, right? So, so that's our whole job. So step 1, make a lot of friends. Step 2, be a good friend, ask a lot of questions and listen closely. Step 3, ask them. You see an opportunity, ask them, are you interested in learning more? If I could show you how you could solve that problem, would you be interested in learning more? They say, no, I'm good. You say, okay, cool. Right? That's not usually going to happen. If they say yes, then the next step is either do this right now, if they have time, and you have time, or you schedule. I'm a big proponent of scheduling. This is especially more of like a red to red personality thing. And I really did focus on recruiting a lot of reds, and it's mainly just because I'm very red as a personality. And I was in a less yellow company of the time. So, so what you're going to do then, you either show now, right? And then offer to get them started, which is, closing the sale, or you schedule a time to get together, go over the information together, and then close the sale at that point. That's it. That's it. And of course, after that point, you want to make sure that you get them the new member email campaign applied to them in your GetOiling system. Maybe put them into a private member area in your GetOiling system if you have one of those set up from our How to Move Your Groups course. All of this stuff is free that I'm talking about right now, free and included. If you don't have it, we can talk about that maybe in the chat here if you want more information. But yeah, that's basically it. Wanda, that second book that I mentioned earlier is Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. And that is a book on networking. And if you guys follow Richard Brooke, he teaches this kind of stuff too. And the guy's kind of a genius on it. Okay, so that's basically it. Let me show you guys real quick just to make sure that when you are down here in on your, how do we add a tag to somebody when we hit the edit right here, right?
Yep.
Awesome. So let's just to make sure you guys know the functionality of this and how to use it in the system when you're having these conversations with your people. Maybe, we talked about, I don't know, toxins in the home. She's interested in detoxing her products. Maybe that she had a medical scare or something like that. And she's like, oh God, maybe I need to remove all the plastics or something, right? Will offer to show thieves and I don't know, makeup, something in, one of the makeup products. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to give myself a to-do. We are going to follow up. If I can move this thing, I'm going to tell myself right now to set up a call for Monday. That is going to be due today. And I'm going to add that. And now set up a call for Monday is a to-do that's in here, right? So I'm going to be reminded to do that. I can also go ahead and go over to Zoom if we're going to meet on Zoom. Maybe she's, 3 states away. I can create a meeting right here. And then I can share this meeting with her once I have this set up. I can send that email off and we're good to go, right? But if I wanted to tag her, just again sorry, squirrel, if we if we talked about gardening or non-toxic living or something like that, and we wanted to tag our people in our conversations so that, when those opportunities come up to maybe give a class in the future, invite them to some kind of new information that you have, then you can search for them, right? So I'm going to put in gardening. Did I put that in here? Or do I have, why is that not working right now? Does it have to be a pre-existing tag, Greg?
It doesn't. I don't see it in the list, but
Must be a bug.
Maybe there's something to do with, because there's
Mm-hmm.
a couple of them that have gardening in them already, gardening journal,
That's
gardening and
true.
oils. Maybe it's.
Yeah, it is adding the existing ones though. We may want to make sure that that's not a bug in the system. All right, so we got some good questions here. And Paula, I would absolutely love to bring you out and we're going to talk and share some of what you're doing here in just a moment. And thank you. Okay, Donna, can I share my GetOiling website with someone when we have a Zoom meeting? Oh gosh, absolutely. Let me show you what you do. So what you can do here, first you want to make sure, I think it's under customize my site. Depending on whether or not you have a custom homepage. If you don't have a custom homepage, this is going to be ridiculously simple for you. All you have to do is make sure that the theme that you want is selected and you just click view my site. And then you're going to see all of these beautiful GetOiling themes that are built in, that are ready to go. You don't have to do anything with them and you can use them to present. So you just go to view my site. Now, if you want to create multiple different opportunities to show, depending on the market that you're in, this will look different. This is reflecting the US market. But you can go over to leg builder links. And guys, we have a training on this, so don't worry. You can go over to leg builder links, create a link, and then you can pick whichever website theme you want and create a shortcut link for it. Really simple. So yes, absolutely use this to share. If you have a custom member area that has maybe Grow Workspace resources, so Jane here has, this is her members area, and maybe she's got, for oily education, she wants to talk with someone about skincare. So I'm going to come down here to beauty, and here is skincare for your skin type from Grow Workspace. And on the Zoom, I'm going to go full screen and scroll through this, or I'm going to grab this link and give it to her or whatever. And then I'll let her know, hey, by the way, if you are, when you sign up to be a customer, you're going to get access to this resource and all of these other ones as well, right? So you can absolutely use your GetOiling website, whether the built-in theme or your own custom member area or other resources to do the sharing here, without a doubt. Marines, where would you suggest adding a special date like a birthday in follow-up? Greg, what would your recommendation be for birthdays with our contacts? Would we put those in as reminders for the date?
I think that's probably the best option at the moment. Yeah, you could do a follow-up plan too if you wanted to put them out a few years out, 365 days, whatever.
Oh, I like that. That's a really fun idea. So for those of you who want to chase that idea down, really simple, go to contact settings and saved replies. And let's just do a birthday follow-up. Oh, that's save replies. I'm sorry. Forgive me. It's not save replies, follow-up plan. So we're going to do a birthday follow-up. Here we go. That's much more simple. Birthday follow-up. And then day 0 is that day. Happy birthday email. And then what would this be? 364? Or wait, no, this is 0. This would be 365, right?
Yeah, if you want one the next year. Yeah, 365. Yeah. You'd have to, know whether next year is a leap year or not, but at least you could apply it. So like you have the follow-up reminder, and then that would be the one thing you'd have to do.
Okay. And then once you go into your contacts and you want to manage them, so you just select your contact and then you add that birthday follow-up plan to them on their birthday. You got to do it on their birthday. And then every year on their birthday, you're going to get that reminder. The other option that would be really simple would be, if you just want to make sure you're reminded a year from now, or you want to, you just found out that their birthday is on X date, just give yourself a to-do on that date. To email them, send a message, say hello, whatever. It's a good question. Dana says, I really need to get a hold of using this tool. Terrible at it. Dana, language. I am getting great at using this tool, and I'm excellent at following up with my people. Oh, cool. You have a meeting about skincare tomorrow. Donna, that's fantastic. Use your tools. All right, the to-do on that day sounds easier. Yeah, I think so, especially if you're like wanting to do this on a date that's not their birthday. So that's pretty simple. Okay, so Patsy, I'm gonna get out of my share here real quick. If you guys have any questions about what we've talked about today, please feel free to ask them. If you want to see how something works, and I haven't done a great job of showing it, I know I'm kind of fast and definitely not always clicking the right things, like, please ask. And Patsy, I'm going to bring you out to chat here in just a moment. And I'm going to pull up your website. All right, Cindy, the name of the McKay book is Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. And let me go ahead and answer a couple of these questions here before we start getting into a website review. So Dana, what's the best way to flow from one campaign ending into a new one? So from Ningxia Red to Thieves is the way to make a list of all the campaigns the recipient could choose from as the next one they see. So this is going to kind of depend. I am a big fan of permission-based marketing. And even if someone is your member, we want to make sure that we've got permission to kind of have them on always, ongoing promotional email type stuff like that. So what I'd consider doing is using our automations feature. So what you would do is for your Grow Workspace, I would assume, or any other content provider that you use, for those campaigns that you have that maybe teach those different things. And I'm specifically talking about email. With text, this is very simple because you can have a response, a text that says, text thieves to learn about, thieves. Now, if we're done learning about Ningxia Red, text thieves if you want to learn about thieves. But with email, it's really simple to just create automation so that when they are done, maybe you keep an email in your system that you can just populate as one of your campaign emails, and you just drop it into the very last email of all of your Grow Workspace campaigns, for instance. Where you say, that's the end of the class. I'm so excited that you got to learn about this. Here are some of the other topics that you could learn about right now. Click one of any of these and you'll immediately start receiving a new email class, right? And so each of those links in your email would be a link to an automation that would trigger one of those Grow Workspace campaigns. And we do have a fairly recent training on automations on our YouTube channel. And if you have them, by the way, Dana, if you have them in a member area, like if you're using your member area, this is a really good place to keep that kind of thing. Because any kind of communication that you're having with them, you've got a static place that you can send them to that has all of those choices available to them. So it's not like you're asking them to hunt down an email that maybe they accidentally deleted or something. If you have it inside of a member area, then they can just click off and go get that right away. Do I have to have an email address to put people into my contact manager? No, Donna, you don't. You actually don't. You can take your, so there's an article, and I think this is in, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I think this is in our help system. So if you click the little teal question mark at the bottom right corner of your screen, I think we link off to a place where you can actually learn how to import your contacts to a CSV file. From Facebook, or export rather, and then you just take that CSV file and you import it into the GetOiling system. And that's just names. It's just names. Sometimes there's more information there, but usually there's not. And so, so yeah, that you would just add that email address. So if so when you're at that stage in the conversation and they say, yes, I'd love to learn more about what you said you use to help with whatever thing that I'm dealing with. Then you say, great, would you like me to email that to you? I need your email address. And then put it in, and now you have it. So yeah, you don't have to have everything in there. Okay, all right, so Patsy and then Paula, and I'm so excited to look at this stuff with you guys. So I'm gonna find you, Patsy, and I'm gonna bring you out to chat. All right, Patsy, come on out. And Estrella, I'll answer your question while we're here. You've been working hard on the perfect setup. When editing my custom page background, the huge box that appears kind of gets in the way to see the adjustments. Is there a way to move or minimize it without having to close and reopen? Editing my custom page background. I wonder.
That must be the pop-up bit. I mean, there is that advanced editor but I think that's still going to have the pop-up there if you're talking about editing background colors and you're sliding background images around and whatever. Yeah, right now the box is there. So yeah, you do have to, I think if I'm understanding correctly, you do have to close and reopen for some adjustments.
Yeah, I mean, what you could do, and this is what I do personally, and this is, yeah, like Greg mentioned, this is either the advanced or the normal editor. I usually just use the advanced editor, but that's just because I'm used to it. But I'll have two tabs or two screen. I mean, I have a gigantic computer, so I'll have two windows open, but you could do this in two tabs. Have the view, like the public facing page up, and then have the one that you're editing. And so make the edit, save it, and then refresh the view page and see if you like what it looks like. and then make your adjustments that way. So it's just kind of seeing that in real time. There are limitations of WYSIWYG editors, unfortunately, and that is one of them. Okay. Patsy, are you here? I think I brought you up to speak. Or did I lose you?
Oh, she had a message in the chat. She said, I'm driving, we'll be losing connection shortly. So maybe she'll be back.
All right, well,
I don't see her on the list.
In which case, Paula, Reverend Paula, let's talk.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Good. So tell me more about what you got going on here.
Okay, well, what I'm trying to do is I've got a couple of Etsy sites, and I've got one with clergy stoles. Oh, there it is. And I want to I just started putting this page together while you were talking, but I want to be able to sell them through the Stripe. And so I'm thinking maybe I could make a separate custom page for each one with the pop-up and the Stripe, and then put that link in here. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but that's what I'm thinking.
So for now, I think, and Greg, please chime in. I think so long as we don't currently have a cart feature, the best move is going to be to have those multiple purchase options on those pages.
So I actually would need to make a separate custom page for, let's say, the first Wesleyan Methodist clergy stole. I'd need to make a separate custom page for that with the pop-up and the Stripe.
That's right.
And then take that.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. So one idea there is some options available where you can add like different checkout options. So it isn't just like one product, one price. You could, I mean, probably just cut down on the number of pages you could make. If there's some variations on them, some limited number, you probably could put those as options in the pop-up. Like they could choose, there's a radio button option where they can pick, like if you've got like blue, purple, pink, like different colors, you could have that and kind of all arrayed around that specific type. Like, I don't know if these are grouped into specific, types of them or not, but that would be one way. So you don't have to make, 30 of these or however many you have. Custom pages, you could group them, maybe that's 5 pages and there's 4 colors on each or something like that.
And you mean like I've got several of them that are the same price. So maybe I could make a page with the same price and put all those stoles on one custom page and then do the Stripe pop-up with those. Or I could, the colors don't really, the colors are going to be priced differently, but the different types of stoles, several of them are the same price.
Okay. They can be different. They can be different prices. I don't know. I mean, if we could go into the page, it is possible. Yeah. Like right now, I don't know, Ashley, if you've got that available. If not, I can probably find it and pull it up here. But yeah, there's a way to put multiple items in there, and they would just have to choose from the list, like which one that they want, and then each one can have a different price on there.
How many multiple items can I put in there?
Pretty much as many as you want to. I mean, it does make the screen bigger, so there might be a practical limit where it just doesn't, looks too much. But yeah. There's no limit on there. If you got like 500 or something, maybe that wouldn't be a good option. But if it's a smallish number, it might work.
Okay, I didn't know I could put the multiple pricing on there.
Yep. So connect that all up, and you can add a payment option, and then you can add more than one right there. And so each one can have a different price. You can even do coupon codes if you want to. Individual ones can run different automations. They can, if you add an option, it can tag the customer, or whatever an automation can do, which is a lot of different things. So there's, but yeah, you can then set it up to, in this case, kind of at the very top of that stack, it says visitors may buy only one option or only one or more options. So in your case, if you only want people to buy one thing, you could do that, but you can also flip it over to what Ashley's hovering over right now. And then they can check more than one. So if they want to buy 3, it doesn't do quantities. So like if they want to buy 2 of one, this is where, like a full shopping cart would be nice. But in this case, if they wanted to buy 3 of them, 3 different kinds, you could do that by setting it to that 1 or more options.
Okay. That's going to work perfectly, because they normally don't buy 3 of one kind. They might buy 1 of this one and 1 of that one.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then but it continues. I mean, if they buy it, it continues to stay on my site, right?
Yep. And when they buy it, it goes to wherever you can either have it stay on the same page, or under lead capture options, you can have it determine where they go to. As any, with any lead, like where does it take them after they register? There's a URL box where you can have them sent off to a thank you page or whatever you want to.
Okay, that's great. So I could put like 20 stalls on one page and have 20 places, and just put the name there, and they can just click on the name that they want. And that's exciting.
Yep. And it does make them, if you choose the one or more options, it does make them check at least one, so they can't check out with nothing in the box. So they do have to buy at least one thing.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm excited about this. I hadn't got my one sale on Stripe a couple days ago, and I thought, I need to switch these over.
Nice. Cool.
I love it. Yeah, great work, Paula. By the way, you guys, if y'all haven't seen Paula's site, Paula's doing really good work. And I'm really looking forward to setting up a time for you to come and share a little bit with us on the weekly work session about this biblical tradition of anointing class that you've got.
Okay, I'm excited about that too.
This is beautiful, Paula. Really great work.
Thank you.
Any other questions while we're here? Or anything else you want to talk about?
That's what I'm working on today. So thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you for sharing, Paula.
Sure.
Okay. Was Patsy able to come back? Oh, we lost connection. Let me see.
I don't see her in the list.
Okay. Well, I know we've got just a few minutes left. If you guys have any other questions, or if anybody else has something you would like to chat about, then of course, by all means, do say so before we get going. Patsy, I hope you'll come back and we'll try this again next week. All right, there was a question here from Keith in the chat. In short, how to make a quality Zoom presentation, put it in place where people can see it when they have time instead of repeating the meeting. So yeah, there's actually a really great resource on this that teaches how to use our system in 2 specific different ways. And it's 2 parts. It is taking your events online. So I think if you just search events on the GetOiling YouTube channel, you'll see that there is a 2-part series. So what we're doing first is we are creating an online event. Greg's putting it in the chat right now. Create an online event. So you're actually giving the presentation, and yes, make that high quality and use it. Use your GetOiling Zoom to record it. And then you're actually going to host the video on YouTube or ideally Vimeo. And then you're going to embed that onto a page. And then, yeah, instead of, instead of having to go through the exact same information every time, and this is how I would recommend you do this, because again, you cannot substitute technology for relationships. You've got to have those conversations. Where a tool can do the heavy lifting, use it. If you say, hey, I've got a 10-minute presentation that does the explaining for me better than I can for you right now. Do you have 10 minutes to watch it? Keep them on the phone and press play. And don't just keep them on the phone and press play. And then you ask them, was that awesome or was that awesome? What are you most interested in? Are you ready to get started? Right? That kind of thing, depending on the nature of your presentation. So yes, that's totally something you can and should do. I would keep the focus of a video like that, if you're going to make one, on a Essential Oils 101. Right. And seed to seal and Young Living basic information and why Young Living is different and all of this kind of stuff. Have your conversation with them really be about connecting them with a product that they need and helping them solve their problem. And then, when we get into the supporting information of, well, why should it be this company and not Amazon or whatever, that's where you would bring that tool in and say, hey, I've got a thing, it's 5 minutes, it's whatever. And it does the explaining better than I can. Right. And that's what I would recommend where that's concerned. Oh, Suzanne, you're so sweet. I DIY everything, and our windows are wide open today out here in the mountains, and there's bugs. I DIY everything. It's mostly oils though. Gotta keep it true to the crew here. Okay, yeah, that looks like that's it in terms of questions. Maybe we'll have a separate conversation about skincare one day, or I don't know. It's all essential oil based. I can tell you that much, and I make it. All right. Yes, thank you, Amelia. Good to see you. Hi to Slaisha. Guys, thank you for being here today. Let's go back to Brady Bunch, and I appreciate you, Keith, as well. Thank you. This team is amazing. Our community here is amazing. We would not be here without you guys. We absolutely love that you have put your trust in us to build your businesses with us and your teams. And we're here invested in your growth. So I want to encourage you this week to go and start new conversations. And these conversations are the same. If Young Living never changed starter kit to bundles, right? Or if they wanted to call it unicorn juice tomorrow, the conversations are the same. Everything that you're doing is the same, no matter what. Use the tech to support these things, right? And we've talked about what the supporting tech looks like. You want to start branching out and branding yourself. You could do that with us too, right? But I think a lot of us really need to remember we got to get back to the basics, because we could get so distracted and distraught about like, oh, this is changing and this person's going here and there and they're saying this and they're saying that. They don't have anything to do with your business, you guys. Your business is changing lives the way yours was changed with the same products that are not changing, right? That you just got to go out and have those conversations. So go have some this week, change some lives this week, and bring your team back next week after you have them get started. Bring them here and let's all have a great big oily tech party together. And I don't know, Brady Bunch. And there's Macy. See, we can hang out with Macy. There's a baby here. And Kim has a dachshund there. Like this is, can we bring the babies back out? Oh my God, I love them. You're so cute. Oh, all right. Thank you guys for being here. Look forward to seeing you next week. Team, I don't know, send off. Oh, there's a little palm teddy bear there too. Should I get mine? I'm going to get mine. Hold on. I just woke him up. He's not happy about this. Dog party. All right. Dog and baby party. Can she see us, Colin?
She's saying see the pups over and over since you guys pulled out the doggies.
Hi, everybody. Y'all have a great week. Take care.